welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 41 of the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast. I'm your host, Abby Hegney, and this is a place for women who want to feel healthy and confident while living a life that they love. We hear all of the time that it's so hard. It's hard to find time for ourselves. It's hard to stay consistent. It's hard to feel motivated. It's hard to keep up when life is busy. And listen, I am not here to tell you that it's easy. But when you focus on it being hard, you will always, always, always find hard. Your mind creates what your mind believes. And that's why today I want to call out the biggest lie you are telling yourself. The lie that is keeping you stuck and making you believe that change isn't possible. That lie is I don't want to. And I want you to think about how often you tell yourself, I don't want to. And I want to be very clear that there are definitely things that you genuinely do not want to do. For example, I have zero desire to run a marathon. None. I don't want to train for it. I don't want to run 26.2 miles. I only like to run when it's like 68 degrees and sunny outside. So the thought of like having to run through the rain or the wind or the cold, like, no, I don't want to do it. And I definitely don't want to do it with the 87-year-old hip that I feel like I have most days. I barely want to run like 1 mile these days. I also don't want to go scuba diving. I don't want to spend all night out in a club. And I laugh about that one because my husband and I are going to Miami for a few days, and somebody suggested that we book late dinners because the club's open late. And we just laughed so hard at that because we are both like, I want to be in bed by 10 p.m. type of people. 0% of me wants to go to Miami and be out all night in a club. Some people want to do that, right? And good for them. That's their lives. Have fun. I'm going to be in bed. These are not lies. They're not excuses. Not doing these things feels really good to me. It feels like I'm honoring myself, like I'm honoring my best self. There's no guilt. There's no frustration. There's no regret. Those are not the things that we're talking about today. What we're talking about today are the things that you want to do, the things that you know would make your life so much better, the things you know would make you feel better, the things that would create the habits, the confidence, the balance, the consistency that you want in your life. But in the moment, you tell yourself, I don't want to. You want to work out consistently. You want to feel strong and energized and confident in your body. You want to follow through on the promises that you make to yourself, not just to others, but the ones that you make to yourself. You want to believe in yourself. You want to believe that change is possible. You want to cook more meals at home instead of ordering takeout every night because you know you feel better with a home cooked meal, and you know that it moves you closer to your goals, and you know that it's better for your wallet too. You have it all planned out. You're ready. You're done waiting. But when the moment comes to take action, to work out, to make that home cooked meal, to actually follow through on that promise that you made to yourself, your inner mean girl tells you, I don't want to. It's like when your alarm goes off. You've set your alarm, you set out your workout clothes. You're like, I'm going to do the workout in the morning. It's going to set my day up for success. I'm going to feel so good when it's done. I'm not going to have to think about it for the rest of the day. And then your alarm goes off and you're like, I don't want to. I don't want to get up. It's dark. It's cold. My bed is so warm. I don't want to. Or you plan that healthy meal. You're ready to make it a priority. You have it all planned out. You've got the recipe, you've got all of the ingredients, but then 5 o'clock comes around and you are exhausted from the day and you go back to your go-to story of, I don't want to cook. We'll just order takeout tonight. I'll cook tomorrow. Or you block out time for yourself. You're like, I'm going to prioritize this time for me today. But then 100 other things come up that feel really important, that feel really urgent, that pull you towards them. And you think, I don't have time for myself today. I don't want to take that time. I'll do it tomorrow. And then you don't. And for a moment, it may feel like a relief, like you made the right choice, but only until it doesn't. Because then the guilt starts to creep in, the frustration, the regret, that voice in your head comes back and it tells you, why do I have to keep doing this? Why can I never follow through with anything? I can never stick with anything that I try to stick with. It's so hard. I can't do it. You look at others and you see them doing it and you feel like it should be easy, but you can't seem to figure out how to do it yourself. That moment is when you know I don't want to was never true. Because if you really didn't want to, there would be no guilt. There would be no disappointment. There would be no feeling like you let yourself down. What's actually happening is you're letting your inner mean girl talk you out of it. And every time you do, you build evidence against yourself. You reinforce that belief that change is hard, that you're someone who starts but doesn't finish, that you can never stick with anything, that no matter how much you want something, you always end up back where you started. That belief, that story of your inner mean girl is what's keeping you stuck. It's not your schedule. It's not your work. It's not your kids. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not even the amount of energy that you feel like you have or don't have. It's the story that you keep telling yourself. The story that will stick with you no matter what you do or how much progress you make. It will continue to show up and it will eventually pull you back into your old ways. It's why it feels so hard. You keep telling yourself, I don't want to. When you know deep down that you want to, that you want change more than anything. But then you make yourself feel hopeless, like it's not possible, like you can't do it. When you tell yourself, I don't want to, what you're really doing is resisting the change that you want in your life. You're resisting your deeper desires. And resistance takes the most energy always. You're battling against what you really want, day after day, decision after decision. That is exhausting. It's why it feels so hard. It's why it feels overwhelming. It's why you feel like you don't have the energy to do it. It's also why quieting your inner mean girl is so important. Those stories that she feeds you day in and day out, the stories that feel so true, the stories that you may not even be catching, are as much as a lie as I don't want to. You are somebody who follows through. You do it every day for your job, for your kids, for your commitments. You show up even when you don't want to. I know you do. Us women do this all of the time. You don't allow your inner mean girl to talk you out of being there for your kids or finishing that big project at work. You know they're important, they matter to you. You never forget that. It's time to remember that what you want matters too, that you matter too, that feeling comfortable in your own skin matters, that losing the weight that you have been wanting to lose and knowing that you can keep it off with confidence matters. Taking care of yourself, even when life is busy, even when everyone and everything else seems to need you all of the time, matters. Your happiness matters. Having more energy to keep up with your kids and your life and your partner and your friend matters. Not obsessing about food or movement or a number on a scale matters. Feeling confident in who you are and what you do matters. Making decisions that make you feel proud matters. Honoring those decisions matter. Being the example you want to be for your kids matters. Showing them what's possible and what they are capable of matters. It starts with you. You know it starts with you, and that matters to you. Not feeling run down, burnt out, tired, exhausted, stressed, sleep deprived matters. Living your life in a way that you love matters. That is what you want. Some of it, all of it, some version of it, it's what you want. You cannot forget that. As your coach, I never let you forget that. I help you keep your feet and your face pointed in the direction that you want to go always. Your inner mean girl will always offer you up surface level desires, things that feel good in the moment, but only ever keep you from creating the change that you want. When we work together, you'll see those surface level desires for exactly what they are: a distraction from what you really want, comfort, ease. You'll quiet your inner mean girl and build your confident self concept. The version of you who has deep desires, who believes in what is possible and what she is capable of, who doesn't forget that what she wants matters, who knows that she is worthy and capable of change. You'll create future focused habits because that is where you are headed. We leave the past behind. It doesn't matter what you have tried or how many times you have started and stopped. It doesn't matter how many times you think you have failed or what you believe you are capable of simply based off of everything that you have always done. We keep you focused on where you are headed, where you want to go. Step by step, we celebrate you showing up for you, talking yourself into the things that you really want to do instead of constantly talking yourself out of it. You will gain the greatest tool for creating the habits and the confidence and the life that you want: the ability to recognize and quiet your inner mean girl. What if you started honoring your own decisions like they matter? Because they do. What if you talked yourself into things more than you talked yourself out of them because you remember what you really want? What if the next time your inner mean girl tells you, I don't want to, you answer back confidently and powerfully, yes, I do. And you find all of the reasons why. Because the truth is, you do want to. You want to feel good in your own skin. You want to be confident in the way that you show up for your life. You want to prove to yourself that you can be someone who follows through. That is exactly what we do when we work together. We don't just talk about change, we create it. You become the woman who has the habits and the confidence and the life that she wants. If you are tired of feeling stuck, if you are done talking yourself out of those things that you actually want, those things that will actually make you feel so much better, it's time to do things differently. It's time to make a decision and honor it all the way through, remembering what you really want and why it matters. That decision starts right now. It's deciding that you matter, that you want it. It's deciding that you're done turning yourself back around and you're ready to only move yourself forward. I invite you to come coach with me. Give yourself 6 months. Learn to quiet your inner mean girl and focus on what you want and create the change that you want for the rest of your life. All right, my friends, that is the biggest lie that you're telling yourself. It's time to shut it down. It's time to remember what you want and to honor that every single day. I will talk to you next week. If you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbych.com and schedule a free consultation.